Right now on WHAS 11 News at 5, LMPD is investigating a number of violent crimes from this past weekend, including the death of a woman found shot to death in the woods.
And following the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, there is a rise in concerns over a Russia-aligned project spreading false information.
Plus, parents are hoping they can stop proposed realignment plans that would close a school in Bullitt County. Right now on WHAS 11 News at 5. Right now, LMPD is investigating a double shooting on South 4th Street in downtown Louisville. Two men are currently in a local hospital suffering from gunshot wounds. This happened just after 2:30 this afternoon near downtown on South 4th Street. This is by the 800 Tower apartment building near York. LMPD officers say they found two adult men, one inside and one outside of a building near the area. Both were taken to the hospital with injuries but are expected to survive. This is still an active investigation. Anyone with information can call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. And LMPD is also investigating a handful of shootings following a violent weekend in the metro. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Conray DeLuche.
And I'm Connie Leonard. Now, in total, there were 10 victims to violence over the weekend. 3 people were killed. 7 others were injured in those shootings. 2 of those shootings involved multiple victims. LMPD's Dwight Mitchell told WHAS 11, when there are so many shootings, it's also difficult for detectives.
It's an obvious strain because they're human beings. And you're dealing with life and death, and you're dealing with grieving families, so it makes it difficult like that. And everybody wants the answers just as you do.
Now, those victims with injuries are expected to survive. And one of the victims was a woman who was found near the Shawnee boat ramp.
WHAS 11's Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Gabby DeGeorge spoke with her and her family, pleading for answers.
After a violent weekend in Louisville, one mother is speaking out about her daughter who was found shot dead near the Shawnee boat ramp.
Yesterday, I just felt like, she was going to be coming in the door at any time. And she didn't.
Tammy Bryant says she feels numb, holding pieces of her 32-year-old daughter, Rachel Hughes.
They gave us her jewelry, and it just became real. Then.
Louisville Metro Police say at about 3:30 Sunday afternoon, police discovered a woman dead with multiple gunshot wounds in a wooded area in Shawnee Park. Caution tape is still up Monday morning. LMPD spokesperson Dwight Mitchell says law enforcement officers, including LMPD River Patrol and the park ranger, are searching for evidence to make an arrest.
It was by the boat ramp, and they may be looking for any evidence that may be down there that helps us find the person's responsible for it.
Tammy says the last thing she knew is that her daughter went to a local laundromat to play slot machines in the early morning.
4:30, she left up there and she was never seen again until they found her body.
She says Rachel was driving her car that morning, later recovered nearby on 46th Street, abandoned.
I got in the car and it smelled like cigarette smoke. We don't smoke cigarettes. And I knew that that was not her.
Rachel's father, Charles Hughes, says his daughter's death is one of several senseless violent incidents this weekend.
She didn't deserve 8 shots in the chest. Didn't deserve it. And I'm sure those other people lost their loved ones too. They didn't deserve what they got either.
LMPD's homicide unit is investigating. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11 on your side.
There are no suspects at this time for any of these shootings. Anyone with information can call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. You can also use the online portal.
Well, teen violence in the metro has lawmakers from across the aisle pushing to reopen Louisville's juvenile detention center. Metro Council Democrats and Republicans are calling for Governor Andy Beshear to expedite reopening the center, seeing it as a solution to the teen violence issue with cases ranging from stolen cars to murder. The facility closed back in 2019 and is supposed to open in 2027. Metro Council member Kevin Bratcher is spearheading the motion, saying the center can help intervene in the lives of troubled Metro youth before they're legal adults.
And we need a place where we can set them down, have the clergy come talk to them, have the family come talk to them, have counselors here in Louisville come talk to them, and try to turn their life around before they turn 18 years old.
Well, Councilman Bratcher says right now, due to the Louisville Juvenile Detention Center's closure, kids are being sent to facilities in Adair and Warren counties. He also claims releases from juvenile detention are happening too soon, and he's criticized a state law which limits the amount of time a youth can be kept in detention centers. All right, well, Conroy, you went out to Bourbon and beyond. You had great weather out there.
It was fantastic outside, and Mallory, it looks like we have another good-looking forecast this week.
Yeah, trending mostly dry out there, pretty summer-like, so temperatures staying a few degrees above normal. We are in the upper 80s and low 90s for this last official week of summer. We're at 90 degrees in Louisville. That is our first 90-degree day of September, so a little bit warmer than this past weekend. 89 in Fort Knox and in E-Town, 91 in Bardstown and up in Jasper. Now, wind speeds have remained fairly light today, anywhere between calm winds or maybe 5 to 10 mile-per-hour winds. But with high pressure overhead, when we have the heat and fairly light winds, we can get high ozone levels. And that's the case for today and tomorrow, which is why we do have an air quality alert in place for the Louisville metro area and up throughout southern Indiana as well. This mainly impacts those sensitive groups, so just something to keep in mind, especially during each afternoon and evening when ozone would be highest. Once again, that takes us through midnight tomorrow night. Your hourly planner, pretty hot out there right now, but temperatures should drop off quickly into the 80s this evening and then eventually into the 70s. We will have overnight lows in the 60s across Kentuckiana, so expect to wake up to low to mid 60s tomorrow morning under partly cloudy skies, and we will have more high clouds streaming in tomorrow, so that could limit our highs maybe a degree or two, but still above normal tomorrow afternoon in the mid to upper 80s. Trending mostly dry throughout the work week. I'll let you know when those rain chances return. That's coming up later in our 7-day forecast.
Mallory, thank you. 2 of the men convicted in the death of Bardstown mother Crystal Rogers will be sentenced this week after a month-long delay. A 9-day trial in July saw Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson convicted in Rogers' 2015 disappearance and murder. Houck, Rogers' then-boyfriend, was found guilty of murder and tampering with physical evidence. Lawson was found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
The jury recommended both men serve the maximum prison sentence, life for Houck and 25 years for Lawson. The sentencing was originally scheduled for last month, but was delayed due to Lawson's, quote, ongoing serious health issues. His attorneys are also looking to appeal his conviction, but have not filed a notice of appeal just yet. Crystal Rogers' family will also have a chance to provide victim impact statements. The sentencing for the two is this Wednesday in Nelson County at 2:30. The funeral arrangements for longtime Jefferson County Clerk Bobby Holsclaw are set. Visitation will be held from 1 to 8 p.m. next Monday, September 22nd at Arch L. Hetty and Son at Westport Village. There will be Mass at Holy Spirit Catholic Church on Tuesday, September 23rd at 10 in the morning. Holsclaw passed away last Wednesday at the age of 81. She had served as the county clerk since 1999. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions can be given to the WHAS Crusade for Children. For more information, you can visit our homepage at WHAS11.com.
New today, tech giant Meta announced $150,000 investment into 2 Southern Indiana organizations supporting STEAM education and entrepreneurship. That money goes toward Maker 13. It's a nonprofit workshop in Jeffersonville, and YouthLink Southern Indiana. That's an organization offering tutoring, mentoring, and other services to help young students succeed. The investment is meant to expand hands-on learning, workforce readiness, and entrepreneurial opportunities for all community members. Jeffersonville Mayor Mike Moore says by helping Jeffersonville schools, giving students resources they wouldn't have access to otherwise, Meta is helping all of Southern Indiana.
Meta came to me and they said, what do you need? I said, if you can help our schools, you're helping all of us. This program is going to take off, and we've already had a lot of good things, but touching this many children in our community, giving them opportunities they would not have otherwise had. Think about this, erase the sponsors that are back here. Think about where those kids would be. We're very fortunate. Don't ever take that for granted.
And during today's announcement, students got the chance to show off what they know with live demonstrations of their skills.
TikTok is on the table at a high-level talk between the U.S. and China and Spain, just 2 days before Congress's approved ban is set to take effect. The ban requires TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance to sell its controlling stake to an American firm, citing national security concerns. President Trump signaled a deal may be in place, calling it one that young people wanted to save the app. Treasury officials describe this as a framework agreement, with Trump and China's president expected to finalize terms this week. Tonight in Louisville, you can voice your opinion on the grand redesign of the Belvedere at a public forum at the Shawnee Library. The meeting will go over the design and the timeline of this project. It was 9 months ago that Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced the decades-old Belvedere would be getting a makeover. The initial design was released in the spring, but during a public listening session last week, project executive Layla George presented a scaled-down rendering as the new plan. She cited concerns around the use of public funds as one of the reasons behind the decision to downsize. The meeting starts at 6 tonight. Going on the road, paving operations on State Road 160 in southern Indiana began earlier today. The construction will take place across Clark and Washington counties between Jackson Street and South Hickory Grove Road, as well as between Casey Road and Forestry Road. Construction will last Monday through Friday from 7 in the morning to 5 at night. State Road 160 will be reduced to one lane during those hours. The Indiana Department of Transportation says the project is expected to be completed in mid-November. INDOT advises drivers to slow down and avoid distractions when traveling through work zones.